Um, you're welcome to speak if you want at any time. You can always interrupt. There's nothing wrong with that. You can also send little text chats. If you press the little chat guy in the bottom there, you can open up the chat menu. Just doing some tests here, making sure everything's working properly. I have a very general view of where Tyrell's at. Salmon, if you want to say in the chat or speak out loud where you're at with Blender. Are you new with Blender? Are you mid experience with Blender? Are you what are your interests in it? Blender, what is it? It's a free and open source 3D animation modeling software. It has many uses and many capabilities, from 3D modeling and animating, 2D modeling and animating, from video editing, image editing, storyboarding, game models and worlds, and so much more. Who am I? I'm Chris. I'm a visual music artist producer who lives in Edmonton. I'm hearing impaired, so it's a lot. Glad you can hear me. That's good. I'm glad I got my tech. I think I got the tech better this time, where it's not going to freeze in the middle of the meetup. So I'm hoping that's going to work out. Please yell at me or say anything if anything is not working, or if I'm talking too fast, or whatever you need to do to interrupt. Slow me down. Like I said, I am hearing impaired, so it's really easy for me to read. You are more than welcome to use your audio and talk. But if you have like a thicker accent or anything like that, I might have trouble understanding you. Or if you have bad mic, low levels, I'll try to work with you that way. But typing is also very helpful. I am the creator of this meetup, Edmonton-Blender-Artists. I will manage and guide the group, and I will try to host this regular meetup online once a month at the very least for 1 to 2 hours, and depending on how active it becomes, maybe I'll run it more, and potentially too, if people are interested, we can pass on the running it and do as many as possible if there's that much interest. Why are we here? To meet people in Edmonton, particularly in Edmonton. There's like a never-ending pile of people you can find online through Reddit and other communities and YouTube videos and all that. But I just found, as someone that's interested in Blender, like really passionate about it, I just think it's really good for people to meet people in real life. And I know we're online, but I just heard someone's mic there. But yeah, I think it's particularly it's good to meet people in real life, and even online in real life, and have people help each other and communicate with each other and share each other's passions, and show each other what we're doing and what we're working on, and maybe even work on future projects. We're here to teach each other from the basics to newbies to advanced and everything in between. And then, yeah, hopefully to collaborate one day maybe, and, make short films, animations, music videos, whatever. I personally do all that on my own time anyways. As an artist, you always want to try and make money doing that, and bring in views and all that stuff. It's not my number one priority, but it would be nice if we could help each other grow that way and actually create stuff that could, go further in the world. But at the very least, just share the passions and teach each other and support each other. The meetups, I'm open to any suggestions during the meetups or after the meetups. If you want to message in the meetup chat, you can, any suggestions you have. If you want to say anything during the meetup, you can say it. The structure, like we're doing right now, the first 10 minutes, I'm just going to kind of explain what I'm trying to do and see who shows up and gauge where everyone is at in terms of their knowledge. Then go and explain some features and work on a project together. Right now, the project evolved from the first meetup where someone suggested a pig and a farm. Or sorry, they suggested a farm, so I started designing a pig, and I kind of going from there, and I'm just slowly going through the process of seeing where that takes us, and from basic modeling of a basic animal to the greater farm to multiple animals, and eventually animate it and all that stuff, and just it's kind of a base kind of project to work with through these meetups. And again, like we can jump outside of that and explore more advanced stuff, or we can stay within that, whatever people are interested in, whatever they're enjoying. Tell your friends if you have friends who are interested in Blender and art and 3D animation. Yeah, spread the word. The streams will be on YouTube, so I'm trying to, I'm working on hopefully getting a good system down where this just goes, the stream will automatically go to YouTube afterwards where you can find it. I will put the link to the YouTube account into the chat. And that's the YouTube so if you ever want to go back and revisit what was talked about during the meetups, you can go to that link in the chat there. I made a Telegram chat, and that's just if you don't know what Telegram is, it's just like Signal or Facebook chat or what do you call it? Not Instagram, that other Facebook chat thing they have there. But you can go there, and it's just a place when we're not at the meetup, you can chat and pass ideas off, ask questions. If you're stuck on anything, you need help with anything. And yeah, meetup.com is where you guys found this. So it looks like it's just the three of us, I guess, Tyrell and Seaman. And Seaman, if you want to type in the chat, maybe even just write between 1 and 10 where your level is at, if you can there, just to kind of get me gauge. I don't know if are you talking right now? Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, 1 second here. I got a sound issue. That's what's going on here. You wanted to speak again there, Simon? Oh. Speak.
All right, do you have my voice?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that. I had my sound off. Like I said, I'm still working out the tech issues.
Sorry, my English is not very perfect. Sometimes I make mistake.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, that is my ArtStation page.
Cool. Do you mind if I show it on the stream?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So I recognize your profile picture there. Yeah, okay. 1 second here. I'm just gonna.
my activity is related to modeling for uh, game projects.
Uh, you're modeling for game projects?
Yeah, mostly indie titles. Sometimes my personal projects.
Okay, so you're just doing it personally, not professionally?
Uh,
Beautiful work, though, man. That's cool. You do that
yeah,
yourself?
yeah, this is my latest project. That was a personal project.
Wow, it looks good, man. Really good. It's got like a cartoonish steampunk almost, or
Yeah, my style is almost a stylized modeling.
very nice, man. Very nice. Better than I can do.
That was not hard.
What's that?
This project was not very complicated.
No. Are you from Edmonton?
Yeah,
Yeah, cool. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out. Very
nice to
nice.
meet you.
Oh wow, that's awesome, eh?
This this part is inside of the Unity engine.
Did you build it entirely in Unity, or did you bring it from Blender to Unity?
First of all, I made models such as trees or even the rocks,
Yeah,
and then I made some customized shaders inside of the Unity
yeah.
and the train and all the components achieved inside of the Unity editor.
So it was purely done in Unity. That's awesome. And was this one made in Blender? Or?
Yeah, but this render also is inside of the Unity editor. That
When
was
you
for a VR game.
when you so you made the model or the scene in Blender and then you exported
Yeah,
it. What
exactly.
did you export it as an FBX or?
FBX and for the project I use Blender Substance Designer for the textures and Unity to achieve all the components together.
Yeah, I'm not. I when I was on my journey trying to figure out 3D animation and stuff, I came across Unity first, but I didn't quite get into learning it. And then that's when I learned about Blender, and then I took a couple courses to learn the whole inner workings of Blender. But I understand that Unity is a good like engine for final products or gaming and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unity is very popular and also Unreal Engine.
I was playing with that was what I was gonna say after you finished there was I got more into Unreal Engine and I played around with that a lot too. And
Yeah,
yeah, I've become really obsessed with Blender and I learned a lot about it over the years, like just very comfortable within it. And then yeah, and then I get into Unreal Engine and just like, oh my god, there's I have to spend another 2 years to try and
yeah,
learn every in and out about it and how to work it all together. But yeah, it's a very amazing, powerful engine, and both Unity and Unreal, it's amazing too because a lot of it is offered for free, and that was the first thing that attracted me to Blender was how just it's free. Go download it and you're good to go, right? And you have the power of it to play with.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That is another one. The all components, all things made in Blender, and I use the 3D Painter and 3D Designer for the texture, and also for those complicated models, I used a ZBrush,
yeah.
and the final scenes is achieved inside of the Unity editor.
Wow, I think it'd be
That
very
that is yeah.
it'd be very
Go ahead.
useful for you to kind of like take over and show us from scratch one day, maybe if you have the time one day. Not today, but yeah, if you ever want to come around and like, because even just this alone, like, be interesting to see how you explain how you made everything. So like, for you guys see, you can see my mouse right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So like, you made this model of the old gramophone kind of thing.
Yeah, I think if you scroll down, I think there is a closer shot.
Of that, yeah, the
Yeah,
gramophone right there.
yeah, exactly.
And you made like
Uh,
you made the gramophone, you made the plant, you made the books, you made the couch, the hat.
yeah,
You
exactly.
made it all together, and you placed it all in the right spot. And
The the most interesting part, at least to me, was the making the custom shader inside of Unity for the bush.
for
Because
this bush right here.
yeah, because in terms of the color and shadow, it has a customized behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and it has movement. If there is a there is a short movie in yeah, in the bottom maybe.
I think I already passed it. Wasn't it this one?
Yeah, exactly this one.
That should do it.
This is the low poly version of the. Yeah, this is final.
Oh wow, yeah, that's amazing. Eh?
Because for movement and the behavior on the surface of the bush, I should uh, I did some research about the movement shader in Unity, and that was very great experience for me.
Yeah. Um, Let me see here. So wrong one. For were you is the shader editor a lot like Blender in terms of like modular like that?
Yeah, but the name of the shader editor in Unity is a shader graph,
Yeah.
and it is not very artistic in terms of the appearance, and you should work with very primitive nodes, mathematics stuff,
Almost
and
like
make.
kind of Unreal when you go into blueprints, kind of like more basic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And then for the actual movement and the animation, did you actually have to kind of key it like Blender, where you like kind of key
No,
out?
not key. Uh, in Blender, in the real-time shaders, you can make some custom shader that work with time.
Yeah.
And when you click on the play mode, the shader goes to uh, real-time state, and in that mode, you can add some simple animation to the vertex
In Unity, you can animate the vertex themselves, or
by shader.
so you can animate the shader, but it controls the vertex. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. For example, you can for example, add some behavior to the vertex. For example, you can say go, uh, for example, move the vertex just this specific range,
Mm-hmm.
and many things inside of the game, such as grass or leaves, trees, all of them are made by shader.
Very cool. Um, is it like I'm trying
Also, you can do it in Blender, as far as I know.
to just 1 second here. Uh,
Let me search on YouTube about the vertex shader in Blender. Vertex.
Because like, so my point of view for like doing something like that, you would have to. I don't even. I'm not quite. I'm slowly starting to learn geometry nodes more in Blender.
Yeah.
But would you do? You'd actually animate the shaders in Blender, like the. So if you could, my basic understanding would be you'd take like a node and you take an input node, or sorry, not what is it? It's not input. It's value
I have a
or value.
I have a problem with the speaker. I think that my voice has a reverse.
It's echoing.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Um, I don't know how to fix that. It's probably because it's coming through your
No
speaker.
problem. Leave it.
Yeah. Okay.
The concept is that mm,
So like what I would picture with Blender is like you'd. So I'm just trying to think of a quick example here on like the base color, and then you could change like the value up and down, and then you could animate that.
not that animate. Uh, there is another concept for animating stuff in shader, and that is use time, because there is a time value. It is a changeable value, and you can add that value to one component of your object, and that component could be vertex. It's a generic concept.
Hmm.
I'm searching on YouTube about some tutorial if I can find. For example, something exactly this one.
You can share your screen instead, if you want.
Let me. I can post it here.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a general concept of
We have
using
a scene
time
time node in
inside of
jump nodes.
the
For
shader.
some reason, in Shade Editor,
One second there. Just gotta. How do I? Oh, are you guys? Are you seeing the video?
No?
Okay. There. Now you're seeing it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
we don't. So today I'll show you how to make a scene time node for the Shade Editor. To start things, here I have this simple material. When I change this value, you can see the lines start to move. I want to
For
automate
example,
this process
uh,
using
the concept is that you can animate the value as a traditional way, but another way is using the time.
Um. I, yeah. It's a.
a scene time node.
But you're not
Of
You're
course,
not. You're
you can
not pressing play though. That's what's interesting.
add keyframes to this value and make the lines move, or you can use drivers which aren't that reliable. Anyway, to create a scene time node, we need access to current frame in the animation and the project frame rate. For that, I hit Shift A and add an attribute node. Change the type to view layer and type here frame underscore current. Make sure you spell this correctly. This will output the frame rate number as a value. I can also get a reference to the project frame rate. For that, I duplicate this attribute node, and here I type render.fps. This will give us this project frame rate value.
For example, in this part, in the first node, it did make attribute based on the frame, and the second one is based on the FPS, and both are float value, and you can multiply those value to anything inside of the shaders.
I did not. I did not know that. That's very interesting. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, there are several types of animating stuff. One of them is adding the keys as a traditional way, but in advanced way, you can do some special things such as using the FPS and frame rate, because those are also values,
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
numbers.
Yeah. I just want to try to like quickly spin up an example using this little piggy thing I got going on, but I'm just trying to like
And also, I think there is a node called time,
time.
if I say correctly. Yeah, time or frame. Let me check inside of the.
Uh, move this up here. Yeah, I don't see a. I don't see a time node. There's just a particle info, but with this one, like, let's move over here. Create a plane. Try to quickly see if I can have any chance. Do you know this process very well, or
Inside of the Blender, no, I didn't use this method, but in
just,
terms of the theoretical, it's the same the Unity shader.
it's the same? Yeah. I definitely would. I'm definitely going to look into this more, and I appreciate you contributing because yeah, like I'll definitely do some more research to understand it better. I'm just trying to see if I can put it together really quick. So they're just going into there, and he was putting it.
Plug this in second. We this attribute node. So get a make sure you type here.
So he had a gradient, a multiply add. Multiply add. That was in value. They put a sign. I didn't know they had a. It's interesting. All the different math concepts. I was never a huge. I was not at all in any way a math guy, and then I find myself as an artist having to learn math.
Oh, I found it.
Did you?
The time node is not inside of the shader editor,
It's in GeoNodes.
but exactly.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And I was talking a little bit with GeoNodes
Yeah,
with
I
Tyrell.
guess you can pass the value to from the geometry node to shader editor, I guess.
Okay, 1 second here. Absolute. So they were doing this. First off, he was showing that, which is you can move the lines. Ooh. So that can be done that way. And that's like that was my first thing when we first started talking about it, is I know you can animate each individual node, and then you can go to like the time, the playback.
Yeah, this one is the traditional way.
But only with shading, so you can notice that it didn't even show up there, and so it's like there's like a hack around to do that. You can't just it doesn't show up in the. So I think you have to murder it for the show up in the timeline. You have to do whichever's value. Values I think work when you do that. So you put this in, and then you try to animate the value, and then it shows up, and then that shows up in the timeline. And if you go here again, and then I would do like rise it, whatever this, and then I would do an eye over it, and then it would show up in there. And then if I go over here to kind of show it off, you can do that. And then what I would do for like infinite movement is you go into your graph editor or your dope sheet. Ah, crap. My computer is doing it again. 1 second, guys. Hello? You guys there? Sorry about that. My computer went all haywire. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Salmon, can you talk again? Sorry about that. Still having RAM issues trying to run this thing here. Try it this way. So anyways, where I was this is the way I would do an infinite kind of this is the main way I learned how to make infinite loops in Blender. So it doesn't matter how long your once you've created a an animation, doesn't matter, you can change the end or the length of your overall timeline. But if you go in a dope sheet and you do shift F over it, or not. Sorry, the action. No, it's not the dope sheets. It's the graph editor. Sorry, yeah, you go in the graph editor, and then you shift F over it. Oh, sorry, shift E over it, and you make cyclic, and now it just does it forever. And in terms of what Salmon was trying to do, I don't know if you want to jump back in. Are you still there listening? Or oh, I'll be back, he says. Okay. Do you find any of that interesting, Tyrell? You learn anything new? All right. Yeah, it's just I hope we can. I've already just talking to both you guys and seeing what you guys have been doing. It's just super impressive. Learning a lot. So for now, we'll try to carry on what Sam was trying to explain. But for now, just sorry, you talking again, and I'm not fucking getting it. Sorry about that. Why is that not working this time? One second. Let me see here. Goliath. Why am I not hearing you? Brave. Try talking again there. Oi. I'm definitely not hearing. I do apologize, everybody. I will have it all figured out over time. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to run this without my computer crashing every single time, but I thought I had it this time. I don't know why I'm not hearing Salmon right now. Oh, that's why. Okay, I see what's going on here. Okay. I think I have to log in and log back out here, guys. 1 second. I can hear you now. Are you talking? Hello? Hello? Are you guys, do you hear me? Are you talking there?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, back at it. So, you were saying that if you want, so did you get up and walk away when I was showing the animation, the infinite animation there?
Yeah, exactly.
But you were trying to show me, so I was just showing the way you can do it with just a timeline. But you were trying to show doing it with a mix of geonodes. So you were saying,
No, the simple way is that just using the attributes.
yeah. But you were saying that you had to. So what you from here, I'd connect the attribute.
First of all, you should, based on the tutorial, you should name, write the name that attribute. The attribute is, let me check the
Vertex.
tutorial again. There is a tutorial. Oh, it's on the type is, first of all, the type is a view layer. And the attribute name is,
Up here.
frame current.
Geometry. I don't have
type
view.
is
I don't
view.
have a view layer. Maybe I don't have the newest. I don't have the newest version of Blender.
Let me. You don't have the view layer?
No. I just have geometry, object, and instance there.
Why? Let me.
I wonder what version
Is
of
this the latest version?
I don't have the latest, no. Well, it was worth a shot. Yeah, you're definitely I don't have I'm using a Mac and it can no longer be updated anymore without crashing everything I have, so I get what you're talking about. I'm definitely going to look deeper into it. Is there anything you'd like to talk about or explore? Otherwise?
Um, I I did open up my latest project.
Yeah.
In Blender. If you, I can share the screen if you
Yeah, absolutely.
like. Yeah. Let me. How can I?
Right at the bottom of there should be a share screen button.
Yeah, I found it. Window. Do you have it now?
Yep.
Yeah, that is the. This is a low poly version of the. Is it? This is the low poly version of the model. First of all, I sculpt some components inside of the ZBrush. and then I did some baking process in terms of making the normal map. This is the flat version of the object, and this is the uh, PBR version.
It's amazing. Huh? Baking, it's quite the process. I tried it. I learned how to do it, but I don't have it down yet. But it's amazing how helps with the overall resource allocation of your computer. Right, it makes it more efficient.
Yeah, thank you. What was that? Your question? I'm sorry.
I was just saying baking is it's an amazing process for putting the color and the detail into the object and like um, making it more efficient on the computer. You know, on the resources of
Yeah,
the computer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because using the low poly version of the model in game engines are very necessary,
Yeah.
and you cannot use all types of the geometry in the Unity or Unreal Engine because
When
of the yeah.
when you baked it, did you bake it in Blender?
No, I use the name of the software is Marmoset Tool Bag.
Wow, you're bouncing around everywhere. Because you're saying for this you use Unity, ZBrush, that one you just mentioned. If you want to put that in the chat, actually, I've never heard of that.
It's yeah, the way was very complicated. For example, these tiny what's the name in English, screw.
Yeah.
These screws are procedural. I made some nodes inside of the Substance Designer, and then I export them to Substance Painter, and each one was a completely customized component, and I can change the size and the bevel parts, or even some noises on the surface of the screws. Yeah, the process was very complicated and frustrating,
Yeah,
honestly.
I can imagine. You gotta jump and swap the file, bring it over there, bring it over here, bring it over there.
Yeah, the the texturing part was very painful, honestly.
That's definitely something I gotta learn more about. Um, what's the is this was just for passion, or is there a greater project this is gonna be a part of, or
Uh, it was for getting the freelance jobs. You should have a up
or
to date portfolio
absolutely,
always,
yeah, absolutely,
and that is the trick. You
yeah,
should always make new things
yeah.
and show the people, yeah, this is my ability, this is my skills, and
And you want to be a modeler for gaming? Is that's your overall goal, long term?
in the long term, no. Uh, I like to shift to game designing because that is my passion.
Yeah,
But sometimes I do modeling, prop modeling for just uh, surviving in terms of that making money.
just do kind of like freelance projects on the side, kind of
Yeah, exactly. For example,
selling the models.
not selling the models, but sometimes I have some client. They come and say, this is a new order. Can you, for example, handle this project? For example, this is my let me show my latest project. That was making a pixelized ship
Hmm.
for a game. Yeah, this
Oh
is
wow, yeah, that's amazing.
its style is like PS1 era games,
Yeah,
extremely low poly models with pixelized textures. This is a wrecked ship. Let me show you where is the component.
I was wondering where the other
Yeah,
half of it was.
Yeah, they want me to make a very old and wrecked is correct in English.
Wreck.
Wrecked, yeah,
Yeah.
wrecked ship,
Yeah.
and they want to use it in the sandy place.
In the background or something while you're running around or something.
Not background, but as far as I know, it's for a JRPG game.
Cool. Very cool. They can climb on in
Yeah,
it and everything. Walk around, walk
probably.
on top of it and bounce around.
I don't think so, but it's a part of the location, and there are some loot box there, and the character probably go there and check around the place. And I made this one as a modular component, so you can, for example, hide and move any component to. Let me show the flat version. Yeah, and for example, you can disable or remove or move any component and make a new section of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, this part is completely individual.
Did you bake all those textures on there too, as well?
No, no, this is just base color, no normal map, no spec, no anything, just base color. And
What's making it look pixelated?
I made the texture completely inside of the Substance Designer. Uh, the texture is very funny because let me show the texture. This is all the texture.
Okay. Yeah.
The size of the texture is 512 by 512,
Mm-hmm.
and each one is only each section is 128 by 128 pixel. Very pixelized size.
Amazing. So yeah, you could basically make that in Photoshop or something too, right? You just make it on a 5 by 512 by 512, and you just kind of cartoon it out, and then
Yeah,
um,
you can use any software, but as far as I'm very familiar with the Substance Designer, because Substance Designer uh, is a node-based texture maker, and
yeah,
I can work with that very uh, easily. And yeah, I made very notes. I can show you the notes.
yeah, please.
Yeah, these parts are empty, and they can use other texture. Put the other texture here. Let me. Do you see the Substance Designer window?
We just see Blender right now.
Okay, let me change the. Where is it?
Right down to the bottom, and oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Window. Yeah. Do you have it now?
yep, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is the.
Substance Designer's Adobe. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Adobe basically
Oh wow, yeah, look at
uh,
that.
did buy them.
Yeah. Does it come with the like I have to pay the monthly for Adobe Photoshop? Do you have to pay monthly for this, or is this on offer for free? Or
No, this is a paid, but my version is old. I got this from Steam.
oh yeah, wow, way back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
But
running
my
this on a
version is
Mac or
no. I use it
PC?
on PC. Yeah,
Yeah,
Windows.
cool.
These all the texture I made for the project, and
That's a
each
lot of work,
set
man.
of and each section, each bunch of the nodes are for one texture. For example, this one, and for example, the blue version with some different details, and this one is for the surface of the uh, the ship, and this is for the around of ship. Yeah, and you can basically all the artists use the Substance Designer for the very big size and non-pixelized textures, but
Yeah.
I turn it to pixel version.
I've heard
For
it.
example,
I've heard of Substance Designer many times. I've never really looked into it. I've also heard of ZBrush a lot too for people that use Blender. Substance Designer and ZBrush.
yeah, for making generic textures, it's very good
Yeah.
because it's very fast. But when you want to bake and get a very special normal map from a special model, you can use the ZBrush.
Very cool. And then you said
Yeah,
for this one you had to download the older version off Steam, but you still have to pay for it, or did you can get this one for free, or
no, they have some plans,
yeah,
and I remember I got this version 3 or 4 years ago
yeah,
inside of the Steam, and also you can buy the new versions there. But
okay,
I
there's
can work
newer.
with this version, and I don't need to go for new versions.
Just good. It's just as good enough the way as it is, kind of thing. You don't need to get any more. So then you render that onto the what do you call that again? It's like a color palette, and then
Mm,
you put the color palette in the blender, and then you UV it onto each model or each
yeah,
piece. Yeah.
yeah, the pipeline was that first of all make the texture here as individual files,
Mm-hmm.
and then let me change the. And do you have the Blender screen?
Yep. Yep. We do.
And inside of the Photoshop, I achieved each texture together. I
Yep.
made this texture, and all the size of the texture is the 512 by 512.
Yeah, and I think that's
And
the generic size 512 by 5. Like that's pretty much
yeah,
standard, right?
yeah, but and inside of the Blender, I played with the UVs. For
UV editor.
example,
Yeah.
yeah, this section
Yeah. Perfect.
I
Yeah.
can
Exactly.
put
Okay.
any
That's
place.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That just it's very. I'm getting all these fun ideas and inspired now. I want to try it.
Yeah, you can do this method with many way.
Yeah. Because my thing is I want to start trying to make like 3D, but I want to make them look like cartoons, so, with like outlines and stuff like that, but they're still kind of 3D, so you can move them around and stuff. So yeah, that's actually a really good way to do it.
Yeah, each project is different from the other projects, you know.
Yeah.
Because this project was only about the base color, and there is no any other maps such as normal or spec or roughness or metallic. For this project, using playing with the UVs and making the texture like this, it is enough.
Yeah.
Because based on my information about the project, the model is not gonna be very close to camera.
Mm-hmm.
For example, uh, in the closest view, just this angle,
Yeah.
not this
Yeah.
one or,
Yeah.
or this
And
one.
you want it to be a little distant, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, player walk around the ship and search the stuff there. And also, they told me we want to have this ability to disable or enable the components, and I follow their request and make the components individual object, and you can move or
Mm.
disable any part.
And you can use that in a variety of ways. You could take half the ship, turn it sideways, and stick it in the ground, kind of thing, and remove some parts,
Yeah, exactly.
throw them around on the ground, make it
Yeah,
all
exactly.
broken and stuff. Did they just your client asked you just for a ship, an old pirate ship, and you kind of just went free from there, and they said they want it low poly or whatever.
Yeah, they first of all they did show me some references about some old games from PS1 era,
Yeah,
and they told me the ship should be ancient Chinese ship.
nice.
Basically, the first step is planning, searching on Google, searching about the references, finding some real real images from the ancient ship, and after that you can do some uh, we call it blocking.
Very cool.
Blocking version is the primitive version of your vision.
Yeah, yeah,
I can show uh, this is the blocking version of the project. It's not very fancy.
yeah, yeah. Just to get a kind of idea of what you're doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let me show the all the blocking. Where is the yeah? For example, I made the first version was this. I said, yeah, for example, the uh, front of the ship could be this one or this one, and then I reached to this version, and then I developed the idea to better version and better version.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. And like,
Yeah, and
yeah, it looks amazing, man. That looks really good.
thank you. But it's a painful process.
Yeah, no, one of my questions is how long did the whole thing take? Probably hours wise, you think?
It took around 9 or 8 days, not full time because I worked. I've been working on other things.
Yeah.
I used the I worked on the project as a part time things.
But you think it was like 30 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours altogether? Or?
All the modeling, the texturing, it took around 37.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. It's amazing because I always have, grand ideas of like art and ideas for film and all these things in my head. And it's just like, and then you sit down and it's like, yeah, just to make the one thing, it's going to take hours and hours and hours and hours. And then you watch like a Hollywood produced 3D animation movie and you're like, wow. And then the more you get into Blender and 3D animation, like, wow, like the team and the hours and time that must have been put into it to make the entire world, all the models, all the characters. And then it's like just to make the models and the worlds. And then on top of that, now they got to animate it, they got to rig it, they got to animate it. And yeah, it's crazy amount of work and time you got to put into these things. I love it.
Honestly, we
Yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah.
question here. What version are you? Uh, you mean the Blender, Tyrell?
Sorry.
We have a question in the chat.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. He was I
Oh, thank.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're using the most updated version?
For Blender, no, it's 4.1. It's not the latest, but I think the latest one is 4.4 or 5.
Yeah. I think I'm right now I just have 3.6 or something like that. I'm pretty far behind. I just didn't update it cuz I'm sticking to that and trying to get masterful at that. And then when I get a better computer one day, I'm upping it to that. I have a newer PC that I do like the final rendering, and I have like 4.4 like you or 4.1 or whatever.
Yeah, the latest one is 4.4.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to say, honestly, this job, this activity is very unstable in terms of the income,
Yeah.
and with coming AI stuff,
Yeah.
it's very the terrifying about the
Yeah.
future.
How are you seeking contracts? Are you just using an online platform or word of mouth, or you just know people, networking with people, or how do you get
Uh,
jobs?
Most of my clients, I got the offers from the Discord, and in 99% of the situation, I didn't see them. We didn't have any in-person, for example, session.
Mm-hmm. Just you just
Uh,
had online meetings kind of thing.
for example, for this specific project, no, we have just some chats on Discord, and my client was inside of the Edmonton.
Oh, nice. Okay.
He's yeah, he's a solo game maker, and yeah, we we work together just only by Discord.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's I got Stable Diffusion on my PC there, and I use that to generate images, and I even tried generating some seamless textures for Blender and stuff, and I'm trying and then I'm looking in now to all the different text to 3D modeling, and I've a lot of it's you have to pay for like the credits or whatever to use it, but I've it's gonna be really impressive in the next coming years, right? But you don't want it to replace you, but it's going to do a lot of the work. And if you learn how to use it, it can, and you already have the skills and you understand Blender and other 3D modeling software, you could become your own studio effectively, right? You could
Yeah,
replace a lot of the people.
yeah, basically Blender or 3D Max. I came from 3D Max and Maya in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They all the software such as Blender, Maya, 3D Max, or even Houdini. That is very massive software. Uh, I just used one section of these softwares. For example, in Blender, there are many components for animating visual effect. I don't know anything about those sections. Most of my knowledge is about the modeling, texturing, because if you want to go for any section, that takes a lot of time,
Mm-hmm.
and becoming master, becoming a very experienced person into those sections, that is not very possible for anyone, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that, I try to use just modeling section, because uh, when you work with several softwares, for example, for those the previous, what was that, the previous project, let me show you, for example, for this project I use ZBrush, Blender, Substance Designer, Substance Painter, Photoshop, Marmoset Toolbag, and yes, yeah, these software together, and all of them want you to focus and work individually, and the short keys are different, the pipelines are
I
different,
know. Yeah.
and it's very painful, honestly.
Yeah. Like I said, when I looked at Unreal and like Unity after learning Blender, I'm like,
Oh,
oh
of
my
course, yeah,
God.
exactly.
It's like another 3 years of just trying to understand. There's
Yeah,
so much in the software. So much.
yeah, exactly. For example, I forget the saying the Unity. Unity is completely different the story,
Yeah.
because making a beautiful scene in Unity is completely different and harder than uh, Blender.
Yeah.
In Blender, you have many presets about the lighting. For example, using the preview lighting here, but in Unity, it is not like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I really love Blender. Like it just everything makes a lot of sense when you press like G is grab, and R is
Yeah, exactly.
rotate, and just I find using and learning all the shortcuts, it just seems like it makes a lot of sense, and the flow is very good. And yeah, and then when you
Yeah,
spend so much time learning it, and then trying to go into another one, and I do that with like music software and all that stuff too, and it's just like it's too much to try to master
yeah,
it all.
exactly.
It's so much.
Yeah, the the job is painful.
Well, I appreciate you sharing it with us, and hopefully you'll come back and share more, and we can talk more for sure.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, your work is very high quality. I'm definitely not
Thank you.
even there.
Thank
I'm definitely not there yet, and I love to learn about it. And this is what I'm looking for out of these Blender meetups, right? Just pass it back and forth, and teach each other. And
you. That,
you definitely taught us a lot.
thank you.
Yeah. Is there any
And
Tyrell? You got any questions you want to ask, or anything you're interested in? If he's still there.
for example, for these blocks, I made first of all a ZBrush version. I'm not sure if I can find this high poly version here. Let me check.
No, all good. Yeah, just if you have anything you want to ask or anything, let us know. If there's anything specific, or if you're just enjoying yourself, that's fine too.
Yeah, for example, for this block, I made a high poly version, and I used the baked normal map version for the sculpt section. And
For
but the
the
interesting
for the high poly
thing,
version, were you sculpting it, kind of?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But all polygons of the polygons of the object is only 6. Its shader is very simple. Where is it? Yeah, just this. Normal map, ORM map, and base color. ORM is a composition of ambient occlusion as a O, R is roughness, and M is metalness
Wow.
or metallic. Yeah, it's a popular version, popular workflow among game development.
ORM.
And this is the ORM. Let me show the. Where is the channel?
You call it ORM texturing? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, exactly. The because textures basically they are combined by 3 channel RGB, and you can save several datas into each channel, each part. For example, in red channel, I save the ambient occlusion. It is baked. In green, I save the roughness, and in blue, I save the metallic or metalness.
RGB, yeah.
Yeah, RGB. And even in another level, you can use a alpha channel for another data, but I didn't use. And
you split it out.
Yeah, exactly. In this is this using the separate color or split color is very common in Unity or Unreal Engine, and you can use each of them for any of purpose. For example, in this part, I multiply the base color and with what is the name, ambient occlusion together, and I connect the result to the base color again.
And you're only using this one texture for that one rock, or you're using this texture on a variety of other things in the
Yeah, many things.
many in the one scene, yeah.
Yeah, the texture includes rock or other parts. For example, this metallic part or
You just
other
change the
part.
color of it.
Yeah. For example, if you see the effect of the using ambient occlusion.
Amazing.
If it should be 0, the factor is 0, it's completely just a base color. But if I increase the value,
Gives it more
I will
detail.
more detail about the ambient occlusion.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is very common. Using the ORM workflow is very common in game engines.
I wrote that down. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that more.
Yeah.
Tyrell says very good to know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the past I didn't know about the ORM, but I remember I watched the tutorial on it was about modeling several years ago on YouTube, and one expert person says this is very common in Unreal Engine. After that, I use the ORM technique to handle more organized texturing. Because if you save each channel into individual file, you should make 3 files. One file for ambient, one file for roughness and metallicness. But using the ORM technique, you can achieve all of them into one file.
So much to learn. Well, awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that and teaching us so much, man. And I definitely welcome you back for next time. Hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna try to do this. What's that?
Opportunity. Thank you for your opportunity.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like this is gonna be a 100% open for anyone that's who wants to share, right? And I'm gonna try to do it at least once a month. And I think I'm gonna end this one here at about an hour and a half here. And yeah, thanks again for coming out and sharing. And I learned a lot, and I'm gonna dig into. I made a bunch of notes on everything you taught, so I'm gonna look into it more. And as time goes on, I'm going to try to, guide the discussions and bring in these ideas for more detail looks. Kind of like I like how you came in and you showed everything and you kind of took over. Like that's kind of what I want to encourage is for people to come in and surprise us what they know. But I also want to as I do these more and as I learn more, I want to have like a stock. So if people just if no one has anything they want to share, I have something to talk about. Because right now I was just was working on a basic little pig farm, and so it's good to have more stuff to work with. And yeah, like texturing is definitely one that's a huge rabbit hole to go down. From we were talking about it, me and Tyrell, because he's been looking into it too, is like procedural texturing last time, and just it's amazing what you can put together with just all the different nodes. You can have a white slate, and then you string 500 nodes together, and you have such a amazing complicated texture that's basically made with just the math of the nodes all together. And then that's just procedural texturing, and then you can go into geonodes and rigging and animation. So there's so much. Over the years, I hope to run this thing that we can all share, learn, and talk about. But yeah, thanks again for coming and sharing, and I think I'm gonna sign out there, guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so take care, eh? See you guys next time.
Take care.
Cheers.
See you. Have a good time.
You too, right?